Welcome back, folks, to another Fallout 4 settlement tour. Today, we are looking at another Brotherhood of Steel settlement. We're right outside of Cambridge, a little bit west of the Boston airport. This area might look familiar to you. Here we are at Bunker Hill. This is one of the only civilian settlements the Brotherhood has established here. As you know, in the vanilla game, Bunker Hill is a trading hub for caravaneers. Here, the Brotherhood, they know that they can't operate without the help of some caravans and traders. As in my lore, I like to think that they believe they're too good to go out and scavenge, and so they pay top dollar for any and the best type of salvage or scrap that could be found around here. After establishing a presence here with the airport and the castle, they moved in here and sort of laid claim to the settlement trading hub, but they've also done a little bit more to expand. So we'll make our way in here. The settlement itself, it's split into 3 districts. You have the West District, the Central District, and the East District. As you can see, they're not very welcoming to ghouls, it would seem. The districts are still held, the East and West District are still held by the traders, as the Brotherhood didn't want to completely conquer the place. And then the Central District is held by the Brotherhood. That includes the center obelisk here. As you can see, we replaced the statue with our own. What we'll do first, we'll look at the Brotherhood controlled Central District first, and that will add some context to the other areas. So we'll come in here. As you can see, it's well guarded, plenty of knights patrolling the area. This is just a small detachment. Since we're so close to the airport, I imagine that the guards don't spend overnight here. They just send a detachment every maybe 12 hours or so from the airport. And then moving into the front entrance here, you see it's definitely highly secured right here. Got a couple guards up front. This is the front desk. This is where anybody visiting needs to check in their weapons, civilians or wastelanders, traders, the likes. They can't be armed when they visit this area. Right here, and then if you see through there, there's a couple pipe guns. Imagine those are some wastelanders that came to visit. They don't really carry the best weapons with them. I have a couple folks right here, and then I'm not sure what she's doing. The pathing here is really messed up after I came through. So once you check in, you give them your weapons. You come through the door here. Couple layers of security. Come through this door. Enter through here. And you find yourself in the Brotherhood of Steel currency exchange. The Brotherhood of Steel, they have established their own currency system. So you enter through the waiting room, take a number right here, and then wait until your number is called. You'll come out through here. I tried to fashion this place like a DMV kind of, so all these ropes everywhere and signs everywhere. Figured the Brotherhood would make it as annoying and a pain as possible to come here. The Brotherhood of Steel currency exchange system, they call it officially the Mark of the Order. It allows settlers and traders to trade in a form of currency called a Brotherhood of Steel mark, and we actually have a conversion chart right here. There are 3 types of marks. We have a Knight mark, a Paladin mark, and then the Sentinel mark. The Knight mark is backed by 1 liter of purified water. I tried to go back to the original Fallout where the bottle caps were backed by water. And then once Bethesda took over the franchise, bottle caps were just magically worth something. But we're bringing back the backing. So the Knight mark is backed by 1 liter of purified water. The Paladin mark is backed by 5 units of silver. And the Sentinel mark is backed by 20 units of gold. These booths over here are where you can bring bottle caps to exchange. I believe the conversion for, I think it's 50 bottle caps per 1 Knight mark. You bring your bottle caps here. And the tellers, they will exchange them. As you can see at the barrels back there, they show old bottle caps people have brought into exchange, and then there's the purified water. You can exchange that as well. 1 can of purified water for 1 Brotherhood mark, 1 Knight mark specifically. And then another teller right here, and then of course exchange charts. Let's head on back here. Very, very well secure. There's only 2 entrances back here. Plenty of shipments of purified water, and then just barrels full of caps that people brought into exchange. And then right here we have a stack of Brotherhood Knight class marks. They have quite the supply of Brotherhood marks back here. Oh, hello, sir. That man definitely looks like he wants to take some bottle caps. Plenty of marks and purified water. And then, of course, just in case someone tries to cause some issues, stacks and stacks of marks. And then right here we have the Paladin class Brotherhood marks. These ones, as stated earlier, are backed by silver, so it's the 2nd tier. Nice texture work on those. Plenty of files and paperwork, more drums just filled to the brim with caps. Got some more ordnance just in case. Got settler information, trader information, caravan background checks. So those are the exchange booths. We're going to move over here. This desk is essentially the permit authorization area. You'll receive your permit. To trade in Brotherhood of Steel currency, Brotherhood of Steel marks, you need to be authorized and you need to be a permit holder. That way, the Brotherhood can control who uses the currency. They don't want raiders or perhaps enemy factions being able to use it. So right here, you'll file your paperwork and they'll do appropriate background checks. That's actually our quartermaster right there. Each Brotherhood of Steel exchange has a quartermaster. His office is over here. The quartermaster obviously is the manager, kind of runs the place, but he'll also meet with valuable traders or maybe businesses looking to enter into the order. So he'll hold interviews in here. And the quartermaster is the only one authorized to distribute Brotherhood of Steel Sentinel marks, the highest class of mark. With the marks being a tier system as well, and you need to hold a permit to use the marks, you also need a permit to use the specific tier system of marks. Meaning, you have to have a permit to use Paladin or Sentinel marks. A random trader or a random wastelander can't find a stack of Sentinel marks on the ground and go and buy something with them. They have to be a permit holder. They have to hold a permit to use Sentinel marks. Usually, the only ones really trading in Paladin or Sentinel marks would be business owners or wealthy people. Typical wastelanders would only stick with the night marks. I added that little bit of lore because I felt like even though gold in this universe still has a lot of value, it wouldn't have much value to a typical wastelander, I think. Whereas purified water obviously has value. If we exit through here, we have another back office. I imagine this is for another exchange staffer back here. Here we keep track of the businesses and the caravans that are in the order. You can see with the pins on the map, it shows where they're located and who and what they're trading. Leaving the exchange, gonna make our way over here. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the west district of the settlement. These areas are still controlled by the traders and caravaneers that were here originally. Come on in here. Oh! Take two. So I'd be through these doors. In this area, the caravaneers and traders still maintain control. I left it relatively unchanged in this area. The caravan's Brahmin pen, and then over here we have the medic for the settlement. Let's add a little bit more detail. And then this sign right here, with individuals needing authorization to use marks in the first place and then need authorization to use certain tiers, businesses also need authorization to use marks. This business, either they're fairly new into the order or Brotherhood doesn't see value in them having trader and higher marks. This vendor, the clinic, is only authorized to use night level marks. Essentially, they aren't allowed to use Sentinel or Paladin marks. If somebody pays in a Paladin mark or a Sentinel mark, technically it's illegal for them to hold that denomination of bill. So they need to get to the exchange as fast as they can so they can exchange that for water or night marks. You'll see a lot of traders and businesses set up shop close to these exchanges so they don't have to travel too far if they get a hold of a Paladin or Sentinel mark. If a Brotherhood patrol or some soldiers were to catch you with marks and you were unauthorized, could be subject to discipline. This brings us to sort of the general trader central market area. It's not super crowded today, but here's our general trader. As you can see, they're trading with produce and then purified water. This vendor is also only authorized to trade with night level marks. This person here actually accepts caps. When a lot of vendors join the order, a lot of them will choose to only trade in Brotherhood marks, just because Brotherhood marks are a lot more valuable, as they can be traded for more valuable resources. Continuing away over here, have the settlement sort of inn/bar area. Another little market here trading in fresh produce. It looks like some preserved food as well. This vendor, along with the other ones, is only authorized to trade in night marks as well, but judging by that sign right there, they've made the decision to only trade in marks, so they don't even want to deal with bottle caps anymore. Bottle caps are the old, outdated currency system backed by hopes and a dream. Night marks, or Brotherhood marks in general, are actually backed by something feasible. So continuing down this way, this is the back door to the exchange. As you can see, it's well guarded with plenty of barbed wire and fencing. That way no one gets the bright idea to hop up there. We make our way down here. This is sort of the not so nice area of town. I imagine caravan guards or other people that lived here that didn't pass the background check for entering the order had to move all their stuff down here. So it's quite rough down here. This is where all the settlement refuse ends up. Maybe my next settlement will be a Brotherhood sanitation system. At the end of the area, we have a very inviting looking gate, judging by the barbed wire, that leads over into the Eastern District. Have one of the guard posts up here. For some reason, just over there, a ton of synths will spawn, like, geez, 7 or 8 synths just randomly spawn over there, and so it drives me crazy. Over here, we actually have some knights guarding the district, even though it's still controlled by the original Caravanneers, and you'd think they'd only guard the exchange. And then right here we have a very sturdy looking building with very nice looking lights right here. We'll make our way inside. This building is owned by perhaps a very wealthy business owner. As you can see, they're selling full suits of T-51B power armor. Very, very nice weapons. Whoever owns this store right here, they are the only ones here in the settlement authorized to trade with Sentinel level marks. With this verification sign right here, they can trade in all 3 tiers: Knight marks, Paladin marks, and Sentinel marks. So very wealthy, very valuable to have in the order. Along with the background checks, the Brotherhood, they have an interview process when accepting businesses, just to see if they're even of value to join the order. And And these folks, whoever owns this store, fit the bill, that's for sure. Here they sell brand new ammo straight from the factory, the Mechanist Lair factory. Brand new boxed ammo. These guns right here, brand new, straight off the assembly line. Being in the Mark of the Order, the Brotherhood will provide them with their own manufactured goods. That's one of the benefits of being in the Mark of the Order, is the Brotherhood will provide vendors with supplies. Even the night tier or the night level vendors, the Brotherhood provides them with their purified water. Plenty of brand new ammo and fusion cores. Looks like they're selling some Cherry X01 power armor helmets for the wealthiest of customers. Very nice business. Another benefit of being in the Order, the Brotherhood of Steel will also offer their protection. Seeing as these folks are such a high tier, the Brotherhood has active armed guards around the area, as well as a sign just to remind anybody who has any bright ideas. Over here we have a little bit upper class diner. As you can see, they don't take caps here anymore. Very nice front patio area. And then clean food, preserved food. And then by this sign right here, this business is authorized to deal in Paladin level marks. So not quite Sentinel marks, but they are authorized to carry Paladin marks. This business right here, it's sort of a kind of a bodega, a diner slash like mini market. So here you can make some fresh coffee for the day, or if you'd rather, you can sit down for a meal. Very, very nice kitchen right here. Nice dishes, equipment, well stocked. If you'd like, you could also, looks like they sell mixed drinks. More coffee, and got the menu right here. I tried to fashion the store area after the general store in a Red Dead Redemption 2, the first town you go into. Just a nice shelf full of food, and then these guys, it actually looks like they have apples here. Thought apples are pretty unheard of in the Commonwealth. We'll make our way out. And then over here, they can sit right up to the bar, enjoy a nice meal. And then I added these metal sliding doors once they're closing up shop for the evening. You may have noticed that the Eastern District is a lot cleaner than the Western District, just because the folks that own the shops over here are a lot wealthier, and the Brotherhood has maintained this area more so. There's in a lot of trash everywhere. It's not crowded. The Brotherhood is really making their class system known. And these folks over here actually have indoor showers and latrines. It's a nice, simple restroom. They actually have closed stalls. Look at that. Then up here is a bathtub. You can see the base of it right there. My guy, for some reason, he can't get back there, so it's kind of hard to see. But trust me, there's a bathtub back there. Stepping back into the central district, the exchange district. That'll lead us over here to the central obelisk. Now, judging by the signs and the massive steel gate, this area is not accessible to the public. So go ahead, access it via key card. I imagine only the quartermaster has access to this place. But within here, this is the vault for the settlement. So not only is this place, let me close the door really quick. Oh, I'll do its thing. Not only is this place the central vault of the settlement, where all the marks are kept, it's also one of the surveillance areas and just a small armory. Small as in number of weapons. That is no shortage of firepower, I'll say, with the Gauss cannon right there. Huge stacks of the marks right here. Got massive piles of the paladin ones and then of the knight ones. And here we also have couple bars of gold. I imagine one of the wealthier traders brought in all this gold to exchange for sentinel marks. And we'll make our way out once again. Moving back into the exchange. I forgot to show y'all. In here we have a small break room just for the guards. This is a small little kitchenette and then an armory. This is the break room / armory where they can tool their weapons. The Brotherhood, they take their security around the area very seriously. If we make our way through the exchange back into the central area, look above, there are a couple of closed hatches up here. Failed to mention them during the beginning of the walkthrough. And then of course plenty of these bubble turrets everywhere. And these aren't your typical laser bubble turrets. These are from the advanced turret mod, so some of these are minigun bubble turrets. I think one of them shoots the Gauss cannon lasers. But just in case, we'll have a little bit of extra security. You'll enter through here. And then it can be activated from any booth. For this demonstration, let's say we have an unruly wastelander, perhaps a raider that snuck in a weapon. The booths have these hatches here that allow you to close them for your protection. And you come right here and you hit the panic button. Causes the alarm lights to go off. And those hatches open up and reveal a couple of these extremely heavy turrets right here. This one, it's from the Zap Gun Laser mod. I spawned in about 20 raiders in here one time just to test it out. This thing killed them in maybe 2 seconds. It's insanely powerful. I'll demonstrate it one more time and see all the that hatch is closing up, or opening up rather. So you have the hatch open, click on the panic button, closes them up. Say an unruly wastelander pulls a gun on you, hit the button, and it opens them back up. And then another thing, with the turret hatches open, this opens up here. And then if the bad guy somehow survives the Zap laser turret, makes it past all the armed guards, through the fence here, and through this door, the huge steel door at the front slams shut, causing the front entrance to be completely closed off. And then there's also one more turret up there behind the weapons check desk. And then if all is said and done, and you somehow survive and the Brotherhood detains you, the Brotherhood guards rather, detain you. Out of my way, soldier. We'll bring you here to this room, which has a holding cell. Can't imagine what that wastelander there did to deserve that. Heading out the front, make our way this way. And here's the access to the elevated platforms above. So if we come over here, these elevated platforms are only accessible to the exchange guards, the Brotherhood Exchange guards. I imagine these Brotherhood soldiers believe they're superior to any and all wastelanders. They had this elevated platform built so that way they don't need to walk down amongst the wastelanders. This platform up here, it wraps around the entire exchange. And then if you keep following it, it ends up in front of the weapons store over there. I'm going to make our backtrack over here. These platforms also give us access to the Vertibird landing pad up top. Through visiting this settlement, we've seen how the Brotherhood has expanded their influence and their reach across the Commonwealth. Now, we need to take a look at what the true weight behind the currency is. We find ourselves at the castle once again. Gonna make our way over here to what used to be the armory / archive area, if y'all remember from the last video. There have been a few changes to this area. We've gone in extended the archive room, and we've moved the armory. So now we have the new, what they've designated as Codex Hold. Here in the Codex Hold, This is where the Brotherhood Scribes and the Brotherhood Clerics essentially run the whole entire Mark of the Order operation. Here, you'll see we have the actual ratified documents for the Mark of the Order and a couple addendums. One of them a little bit more curious than the others.
I've been in logistics a long time. You get used to stuff not making sense. Orders come in, things get moved, no one tells you why. But ever since the currency system started, things have felt off. Like something's broken at the top. A few days ago, clerics from Sanctum Prime showed up at the airport. Full escort. Took all the gold to Max, and always purposely left within his reach. No explanation. Just handed over some document no one had even heard of. Said it was signed into law that morning. Had the seal on it, so it made it official. Maxon didn't stop them. He just stood there. They've been calling him a heretic ever since the nuke project. Said he crossed the line. Maybe this is their way of getting back at him. I don't know. Some of us started seeing weird stuff before that. Cleared manifests, missing names, no explanations. We were told not to ask. Said it was internal. Said it was above our pay grade. And a sentinel, no one's seen him in weeks. Stopped asking questions a long time ago.
There's nothing left. Unknown number of casualties.